Hello guys, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about the iPhone 11 and the Tecno Spark 10 in 2023. So I'm going to be comparing these two phones, as the iPhone 11 was released back in 2019 and the Tecno Spark 10 has been released in 2023. So I'm going to be comparing few specs of these two phones to see which phone is worth buying. And first thing, if you're to compare the screens for these two phones, the iPhone 11 has a 6.1-inch liquid retina HD display, and the Tecno Spark 10 has a 6.6-inch LCD at 90 hertz. So if you're to compare the screen size, the Tecno has a bigger screen plus the design. The Tecno has a USB-C plus an headphone jack, and an iPhone has only the lightning port. For the cameras, they both have dual cameras, as you see, which for the iPhone it has a 12 MP dual camera setup, which can record 4K at 60 frames per second. For the Tecno Spark 10, it has 50 MP camera and 8 MP front camera that can record up to 1080p at 30 frames per second. So here the iPhone takes the win, as it can record up to 4K and at 60 frames per second. And another thing, for the iPhone, it uses an A13 Bionic chip, which is a very strong smartphone chip, and for the Tecno, it uses the MediaTek Helio G88 chip. For the iPhone 11, it gets an update of iOS 16. As you see, it's on iOS 16 and it is still getting updates. So an iPhone 11 will get an update of an iOS 17, but for the Tecno Spark 10, it comes with Android 13 out of the box, which has an additional skin on it. So it has an additional skin on it, which is the HiOS launcher for Tecno. And if we are to compare the booting speeds for these two phones, if I'm to power them on, as you see, we are going to see which phone powers on first. Is it a Tecno or the iPhone? And if I'm to add on that, an iPhone costs $300 as of now if you're to get a used one, and the Tecno costs $170, a brand new one. So you can see the price difference still, though the iPhone was released back then. As you see, if you're to boot up these two phones, the iPhone will power on first compared to the Tecno. So here the iPhone still takes the win, as it was once a flagship phone. So now let us test the cameras, to see the back cameras, to see how they take photos. So if I'm to take a photo on the iPhone 11, the iPhone 11 majorly gives the real natural look. There is a little processing of the photo and a little editing by the phone, but it still gives the real natural looks. And the way I'm seeing the phone right now, it's how it is appearing on my phone. So it gives that natural look, and the details plus everything comes out very fine compared to if you're to compare this phone to the phones that came out in 2019. It still delivers good quality photos in 2023. And if I'm to take photos using the Tecno phone, the Tecno Spark 10, it also has a decent camera, but if I'm to judge, the camera for an iPhone is better than this of a Tecno Spark 10, though a Tecno Spark 10 has 50 megapixels and an iPhone has only 12 megapixels. An iPhone still takes good photos. As you know, taking a good photo, the camera lens takes part, but also the software part is needed to process that photo so that it looks quite nice. So an iPhone still takes the win for the photo, and the Tecno Spark 10 has a fingerprint mounted on the side. An iPhone 11 has the Face ID, which is quite accurate. And sometimes if you to test the fingerprint reader for the Tecno, it sometimes doesn't read the fingerprint there and then. It's better than the optical, though sometimes it's a little bit laggy. Maybe that's part of the software issue. Here, the iPhone takes the win for the camera. And also, an iPhone 11 has an IP68 rating, which means it is splash proof, waterproof, and dust resistant. For the Tecno, it has no IP rating. That means it's not water resistant, dust resistant, and you need to handle this phone with extra care. So, given how these two phones look, I would personally choose an iPhone 11 compared to the Tecno Spark 10, though the Tecno Spark 10 is one of the latest phones that was released in this year, and an iPhone 11 was released back in 2019, but an iPhone 11 still performs good. It even performs better than the Tecno Spark 10. So if I'm to choose right now, I would add in the extra dollars to get the iPhone 11, as that's my opinion. You can also have your own opinion, but the Tecno also has a very good sides. It has a bigger battery, and that's a bonus point to people who mainly live in my country, because if a phone can take you throughout the day without charging, that's a bonus point. Plus, the Tecno Spark 10 also has a bigger display, so watching content on it, it's quite good. Plus, also its notch is quite small. It's not that destructive. And the downside, it's the Tecno phone comes with pre-loaded apps. Plus, its operating system, the HiOS launcher, is quite a little bit laggy, as the phone takes time to process some things. If you load the phone very much, it will eventually freeze. And the brightness, the Tecno is much brighter compared to the iPhone. The design, also the Tecno has quite a good design, though they all have fingerprints all over them if you're to hold them without a case. The Tecno has a USB Type-C, which is going to soon be a universal port, and also it has a nice design and feel to it, plus the headphone jack. Those people who like using wired headphones. So currently a Tecno Spark 10 also delivers, because its price range is quite good for a budget smartphone. It's a phone that will take you throughout the day, and you'll be able to use it quite conveniently. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.